Hi, this is Anna Hack from Green Talk, and I have a really cool person on the show today that I wanted to interview. And when her book came out, I said, "Oh, I have to have a piece of Lisa McCourt." She's actually the author of Juicy Joy, which is 7 Simple Steps to a Glorious Gutsy Self. I love that title. That is a great title.
Thank
Tell
you.
us, tell us what this book is about.
It's about authenticity and self love. And yet, I feel like those two words have just become so tired, so vanilla. Nobody really hears those words anymore, right? Everybody, if you ask them, are you authentic? Of course, I'm authentic. Of course, I love myself. And I'm not saying that they don't, but there's always shades of gray. So no matter where you are on the scale of being a truly authentic person and truly loving yourself, there's always room to go further. And most of us don't even realize how much further we can go until we really start pulling that apart and stripping away all those layers that we accumulate just by being members of the society that we live in. And once you start peeling those layers back and getting to that true core you, it just is magical. It just transforms everything in your world, your capacity for abundance and truly connected relationships and manifesting your goals and your dreams. It just all becomes so real and so right there for you once you get rid of all those layers that are keeping you from being who you truly are and loving who you truly are.
Now, let's go back to you because you're actually a personal development consultant and you've written books. You know, you've been doing this for years, and all of a sudden you come out with this new book. I mean, that must have been a transformation within yourself as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I am a self-doubt junkie. I've been doing it since I was 14. The first book I've ever read in this genre was Wayne Dyer's Your Erroneous Zones. And in my little 14-year-old diary, I've taken all these notes and copied big passages out of Your Erroneous Zones because for me, truly, that was the first time I realized that there was this whole world where people do speak my language and they actually respond to the kinds of things that I've been thinking and couldn't share with anyone else in my world at the time. I've just realized the camera's up here and not down there. So I have always felt different, felt like people don't get me, people don't understand me. But that world of personal development and this community is where I found kindred spirits and I found community and understanding. So I've always been a part of it. But like so many people, I was living a persona that wasn't really in keeping with who I was at my core. I had constructed this illusory me to please all the people in my life. I was just a perennial people pleaser. And I realized that all these valuable tools I'd been gathering from all the trainings I'd done and all the hundreds of books I'd read, I was only applying those tools to that part of me, that half of me that I could bear to own and show the world. So once I got real about that and realized that I am a powerful manifester, I can manifest whatever outer circumstances I want, but there's still that screaming part of me deep down that I wasn't listening to, that was my real inner self. And my whole practice shifted then to being about authenticity, how to figure out who you are, because most of us have forgotten, and how to love who you are.
So, what did you learn about yourself? Like, give us an example that, that went from A to B.
Oh, well, I had created a life around what the people around me in media and society had told me I wanted, which was a great supportive husband and two sweet, smart, beautiful kids and a really successful career as a children's book author at the time. I was selling millions of copies, and those were all the things I was supposed to want. But really deep down, I was alone because I was so caught up in being what other people wanted me to be. When you do that and you get some attention from the outer world or you get some love from someone, it can't really land. You can never really feel it because you know deep down that it's contingent upon keeping up that persona that you've constructed for this particular situation in order to get this love or in order to get this admiration. And so it just is exhausting. And that in that moment, I realized that there were a lot of pieces of my life that were not authentic for me. I lost a marriage in the process. I lost some friends. I didn't lose the career as a children's book writer, but realized that it wasn't my most authentic calling. So there was a lot of pieces that I had to deconstruct in order to pave the way to construct a life that was truly resonating with who I am at my core.
How long did that take you to do that?
All in all, about 4 years.
Wow. Wow, that is amazing. We talked before the video about something that I personally am seeing in the world, and a lot of uneasiness, a lot of unrest, a lot of the 99% feeling, a lot of people trying to make their life simpler. And when I saw your book come across my email, it was like kind of a little epiphany for me because I'm saying, is that what's really missing here? Are people just truly unhappy? Are they fearful? Lisa, what's your take about what's the feelings going on in the world?
People are fearful. Yeah, I think that what's the commonality is just a sense of overwhelm. I think we've been hypnotized, we've bought into this idea that to be happy, I need to have more, get more, and be more, which means doing, because only through my accomplishments can I get that sense of self-worth. Only through my accomplishments can I have the confidence and the security that I need. And it's everywhere. It's so prevalent, that message, that it's hard to disengage from that and disconnect and realize that we have way more stuff and way more commitments and way more accomplishments than we know how to comfortably manage. And we have way more than is really serving our highest joy and our clearest, most peaceful lives. And I think people have reached a tipping point, and they know that now, and they're starting to sense that and realizing that the best thing that we can do now is more of a peeling away, a shedding, a letting go, because you can only accumulate accomplishments and degrees and job status and stuff to a certain point before you realize that it's not what's going to ever make you happy.
And do you see this also happening with businesses? Do you see that a lot of companies now are starting to listen to their employees or starting to engage what the public really wants? Because that whole tipping point seems to be really, I'm feeling it. I don't know, I think you're feeling it too.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of companies are, not all of them by any means, but yeah, I do corporate trainings, and just really every employee is a microcosm of that company, and when the employees start stripping away those layers and become the brightest, best versions of themselves, it's like productivity goes up, and they work together and cooperate, and they know that they're just all parts of this whole, just like all of us on the planet are parts of a whole. And it really is a stripping away on a corporate level as well as a personal level.
Now, we also talked about that you have an online session. I mean, it's not just only about the book. You also have like support with the online sessions. Tell us a little bit about that, because somebody may be listening to this saying, Lisa, I'm ready, but I really don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's called Club Real. And it's not only for people who have read the book. It's certainly, there are a lot of people who have read the book. That's how they get to Club Real. But it's not just for that. It's for anyone really dedicated to the practice of living more authentically and living from a more real, self-loving place. And my programs used to be all about, like, the more practices I can give them, the more exercises, the more work, the more value I'm giving them if I make the program this really complicated, structured thing. And this is the opposite of that. It's more in keeping with what we've been talking about. It's a very, very simple, easy to incorporate into your daily life. We have weekly telemeetings or live webinars where we connect and share concerns, and there's a forum, and the weekly meetings are completely optional. I've made it as affordable as possible. It's $10 a month. So you get the 4 weekly meetings for that price, which is unheard of in the industry. And we have a lot of the top personal development gurus and just lifestyle gurus coming on to the calls and giving their best authenticity tips and practices. There are a whole bunch of audio and video downloads, which are completely a go at your own pace, when you're ready sort of a program. So it's super easy to fit into your daily life, and a way for people to balance all those messages that we get, because you're going to be bombarded with messages to the contrary of what we do at Club Real. And only in some sort of an ongoing system like that can you keep the balance where it needs to be, so that you can stop the insanity and say, no, all that is not what it's about. It's just about being me, listening to that inner voice and honoring my true self.
Now, what about, you mentioned you do corporate training. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's just a little bit tweaked version of what I do in the workshops and online trainings. It's really about cooperation, realizing that we're all just part of this intricate web, and getting the juice back, getting the passion back, because we're all, I think, pushing away a lot of things that we don't want to feel, a lot of negative emotions, a lot of negative circumstances in our lives. And when we push anything away and then like push against it, it doesn't ever really escape us. It doesn't get the chance to move through us. It just gets lodged somewhere, that we get this discord between what we think we're experiencing and what our thoughts are and what's really buried underneath there. And it just results in this numbness, this apathy. So it's finding ways to get the juice and the passion back for all parts of your life.
That's very inspiring. It's like almost like, you're bringing up a really good point that people are growing, and to grow, sometimes you have to go through pain and fear. And I think it's really great that you have an online course, that people can get involved in. It's not just simply reading a book and going, okay, what do I do with this? So, Lisa, I am so excited that you came on Green Talk and shared your vision, and you have this online course, and you're going to help make changes for people who really need or are not ready for those changes. Everybody, below in the description of the notes of the video will be a link to Lisa's courses and her book. I'm really excited to be able to share her vision today. And Lisa, thank you so much for coming on Green Talk.
Oh, thank you. So happy to be here. Thanks. Hope to connect with y'all.